In this presentation, we will continue on with our Udemy course creation. This time we're going to think about the thumbnail or the course image that will display when people search for your course and think about purchasing that course. Get ready for business, online business. Here we are on our Udemy platform. We've been building our course here. So we're going to go back into our course that we've been constructing in prior presentations. We've basically put in the outline now for the course. So we have the essence of our course uploaded. We can always go back and refine it, but now we want to think about the thumbnails. That's where we will focus. We've been on the curriculum. Now we're thinking, all right, what does this landing page look like? What are we going to have to do for the landing page? Well, we're going to have to do a description and whatnot. We'll do that in a bit. Let's think about the thumbnail right now. So the thumbnail is going to be down here. We've got the image. It's going to show up obviously on the page when people search for a course. So for example, if we were to search for a course just like accounting, an accounting course here, then we could see the thumbnails and it's like, why is that on the, where is going? But in any case, if we were to go into one of these courses here, we'll say, all right, let's go into this one and check out what they have with regards to the intro page. Now, you could see the intro page on yours. You can test it out and take a look at it, but it's nice to, you want to search around and take a look at it. So it's all right. So they got this image on here and then they've got the video. And that's basically what's going to happen. You got the intro here. That looks good. And then you've got what you're going to learn. And you want to have actionable terms typically on what you're going to learn type of thing. Requirements, what you need, and then the description. And you can take a look at other courses that are in your area and just say, okay, what kind of keywords are they doing? I mean, how are they driving? How are they getting people, to drive to their course? Obviously, you're going to pick the one on the top and say, what are they doing to get up to the top here, right? So and then you'll go down and just look at the formatting. Now, what we'll look at the description later and try to figure that out and deconstruct it, and then we've got what you'll learn and so forth. Okay. And then we've got the video and the image. So we're going to think about the image now. Notice it's a pretty simple image. It's not too detailed, and there's no words in it. Udemy actually forbids you to have words in your image, which is probably good. It's probably a best practice. They've converted that best practice into a hard and fast rule, apparently, because and that's fine. And they tell you too, because if you send in your course and it has some problem with it, don't even worry about it, because they're really good at working with you. They actually get back to you and they say, hey, we don't want this or that or the other thing, or we recommend this, and you just fix it before you actually publish the course. Other platforms do not do that near as well, like very not even close to as well, right? So Udemy is actually pretty good with communicating that kind of thing. So in any case, then you also have the video. So if you click on this, you have the video file. Notice the image that's going to overlay the video is different. So we're thinking about the image now. If you don't have a separate video file that's going to go in there as your intro video, it'll just take the first video of the course, which might be fine because that's probably an intro to whatever the project is in the course anyways. But if you want a sales video, many times if you look at a lot of these courses, you'll notice that the sales video is highly produced compared to the rest of the course, right? So and that seems to work, so I don't like doing that personally, because I think it's deceiving, because once they buy the course, I want the course content to be somewhat equivalent in quality as the intro video. At least that's how I see it. But in any case, you'll notice that, and that is something that you can look into. That could increase your course sales, to just make this intro video really, really nice, right? And so that's, but right now we're thinking thumbnail. So the thumbnail, pretty straightforward thumbnail, no image on it. Okay, so then if we go back over to our thumbnail, I'm gonna make it with just a template. Now, am I a designer or something like this or anything? No. I'm not, and so I'm not saying I'm a professional at this, right? But I've made thumbnails for my courses. Maybe that's why I'm not, at the top all the time. My thumbnail's not the best, but whatever. Here's how I would make the thumbnail. Now, the first thing that you want to think about with the thumbnail is, do you want this in alignment with your other branding themes that we've talked about before? Because we've talked about before that, we want to be consistent with all the branding and basically our business model over here. So if we take a look at our business model, we had the consistent branding. When we made the YouTube videos, we used that kind of consistent branding to drive people to the website. Do we want to have that? We're going to have the same videos, a lot of the same content or whatever. Some of the content at least will be on Udemy and it'll have that same branding. But do we want the same branding on the intro page? It depends, really. If you're trying to get people to drive to your website for something other than courses that are on Udemy, like your own platform possibly, or if it was, or if you're doing consulting or something like that and you want Udemy to be separate, or is Udemy your primary area where your website is driving traffic to, which is probably where you're going to start out. Meaning if you start out, you're probably going from YouTube to your website driving traffic to Udemy because that's the main thing you have. That's all you have to sell, right? And then if you then break off from Udemy and think, okay, maybe Udemy's driving more traffic there than I could, so Udemy's doing fine. Why don't I could try to drive traffic to my own platform or some other item. Then maybe you don't want the same image on Udemy for your branding images, and maybe you just do something that would work well for Udemy. In that case, you think, I'm not trying to make a standardized brand for myself here that fits into my business model. Maybe then I'm just doing whatever I can to market well on Udemy because I'm not the one driving traffic to Udemy. I'm letting Udemy do the marketing. So if you're on that point of things, then you're trying to say, hey, what works best with Udemy? It doesn't matter. My branding doesn't matter because I'm not getting there from the branding. I'm letting Udemy do the marketing for me at that point. Therefore, I just want to do whatever works best on that platform according to Udemy. So I'll listen to Udemy and let them tell me, what works best and try to do whatever that is. So in other words, if I had my template like this and I was making a course and I was driving my content to this course and it was my primary thing that I was selling, then I might want to keep my same kind of template with like maybe the green and blue, that it's noticeable. Maybe some of those characters that people know me, maybe my logo, my same kind of logo that I have, that I can drive everything there. But again, if that's not my primary place, if I'm depending on Udemy to drive its own traffic, then maybe I want to keep that separate. And so that's what I'll do here. I'll say, okay, well, maybe I keep it separate. Now notice, even if you use a template like this, you could use the color theme and logo, but you can't put the text in there because Udemy doesn't like it. Udemy will say no text, and they'll remove the text. So just be aware. They do it nicely because they tell you about it before they publish. Not like they publish it and then like take your course down and say, it was wrong or give you strikes or something like that. They actually are very good, and I appreciate that. So what I'm going to be doing then is going to another format we could do it, and I'm just doing a basic business type of thing. So just a professional looks good, and I'll tell you the easiest way to kind of do this in my opinion. So I'll go to somewhere where I can get free pictures, and I'm going to go to Pixels again. So again, Pixels, I looked at it last time in a prior presentation in this course. This is a great tool for resources to use, pretty nice images. And again, the terms of use here are so straightforward that I love it. So I don't feel bad that I'm going to get in trouble for, copywriting problems with images here. So you can use a lot of other resources as well, but I'm going to pick some image library. Now mine has to do with business and online. So, right, I'm just going to say, all right, well, I'm dealing with like computer, let's try computer, and see what kind of images they're going to give me on that. So then they got, these professional type of images, like, these look good, and these are all free, so I can be like, any of these look good. So what if I was, so I could say, that's kind of professional looking. Let's pick that one up. I'm not sure I like the brick wall in the background, but whatever. Let's try that. I'm going to say copy that, and then I'll bring that on over here, and I'll just paste that into my document. Now I'm going to paste it as an image. It should already be an image, but I'm going to paste it as an image for sure, right? It's already an image, but there we go. I'll make it a little bit smaller so it's not like a massive thing. Now notice that if you use PowerPoint, it tries to format your image here, and that's what I'm gonna suggest using their suggestions. Usually it bugs me when it does that, but I'm going to suggest, like, I could pick this one. That's pretty nice right there, right? I can be like, that's pretty nice. Just that. I can do that. It's kind of nice. I kind of like that. And then this one, that's pretty nice. And that, that's not bad. I can do any of those. I kind of like. So notice I'm going to use this format, but oftentimes I'll use 2 images. So I'm going to say, what if I did like 2 images? So I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to pick up another image, and I'm going to say, let's pick up another one. And so I'm going to go back over here, and then maybe if I try just the generic topic of business. So I'm going to pick up business and see. And I noticed what works on mine. Like I noticed, you know, like this one happens to have someone climbing the ladder, like you're achieving something, that kind of thing. Like rising up or something like that seems to be something that, you know, might market within the business area. So something like looking up the skies of these tall buildings, I think might be something that could be useful. So strategy could be good, you know, okay. So business, I think these high rises are good. What if I put in like corporation, just to corporation, because I'm thinking buildings now, because I got these buildings in my head. What if I put in corporation? So you got these big buildings, maybe online. This looks like an on-ground business, that kind of stuff, though. I'm looking online. So, so I don't know. Let's go back to business. Go back to business. Going back to business every way. And then maybe that chessboard, you know, might be good. I don't know why I'm thinking that now, but let's go with the chessboard or this one. Let's try this one, just see what it looks like. So then I'm going to copy this. I'll copy the image over here. And then I'll put 2 images on this one slide at the same time and see what their little suggestion thing does over here. So I'm going to say right click and paste another image and then see what it gives me, see what it does. So you got the side-by-side view. It often does this kind of thing where it has this line. I was like, it's kind of like that. You know, I kind of like it. So then I can go, all right, that one looks, yeah. They often do this like bubble thing. That's not bad. Kind of like it. I mean, see, they kind of grow on you after a while. This one looks pretty good. If you have 2 things that are comparing to each other, that's often nice. This little, now we got a, that's not bad really. I mean, so in any case, so there we have those 2. What if I was to try this again and say, all right, let's do it again. Let's say new one. And let's say that I'm going to go close this one back out. So I like this thing where I pick two things. So if I was to pick business, like here's a computer, she looks business-like over here. So let's say copy that at one. And then I'm going to bring this one over here and I'm just going to paste it here. And then let's try the building one. Because I'm on online business, so this looking up at buildings, I'm not sure that seems like a non-online thing. That's like if you're not working online. But maybe it still represents rising to the top to me, it seems like. So maybe if I put those 2 together, then I just see what it spits out over here. You got the side-by-side. Yeah, it's kind of dry. That's kind of neat, but it's hiding all the neat stuff in the pictures. They kind of didn't put it in the best spot, it seems like. Then you got the good old side-by-side, kind of like it. And this one, so these are kind of like the standard layouts they have. So it looks pretty good. It's better than I could do. So this is right. So I'm saying, so maybe this one I kind of like this bubble thing. I don't do that too often, the bubble thing. So they have that bubble thing. I thought they had a different kind of bubble thing up here that was reasonable. Didn't they have another kind of one? Seems like my options changed. Did they change my options? Well, let's just pick this one. Let's say I go with this one. Now you can't really edit this too much. Notice I always try to like copy the slide. Like if I was like, what if I want to edit it without messing the thing up and paste it down here? Notice down here, it doesn't have the same features up here. It doesn't have the like the black line between it. But if I do that, I could do a little editing. It might be better because now I can take this image and make it a little bit smaller or move it around because maybe I want it like not covering up the notepad over here. So I can do something like that. So you can do some editing like that, but notice the image is cut off on the top and on the bottom because they cut it off somehow to fit it in here. So it's a little bit more difficult to do your own kind of editing once they have done this, unless you're like good at this stuff. But if I put it on the bottom like that, kind of like it. Is it better than this one? Is it better than... Now it's froze on me. So I'm going to close this one out. Close this one out. So I got that or that. A or B. 1 or 2. This is what my eye doctor does to me. Is this one clearer or is that one better? A or B. Let's go with B here. I'm just arbitrarily choosing just like I do with the eye doctor. B is the one. So then I'm going to go browse, and then I'm going to go to the picture. Let's make it then. Now I'm just going to convert it, just like we've seen before. I'm going to convert it to a JPEG this time, a picture file. So I'm just going to convert that one slide to a picture file. I'm just going to overwrite whatever picture file I have in here. So I'm going to say, let's just overwrite that file. And I just want one slide. Don't do all the slides, or else you can have picture files all over the place. You know, I'll have 3 of them in this case, but I only want 1 of them. I'd have 4 of them, and I don't want 4 of them. I only want 1. So just pick 1. And then we're going to go back on over here, and I'm going to say that we're going to upload the image. So let's upload the image now. So let's upload the image, and then we'll go to the picture file, and we're going to be picking up that one that we just made. So we'll pick up that one and crop it. I have to do this crop for whatever reason, even though it fits perfectly. You got to hit that crop, or else it doesn't let you finalize and save the thing. So let's just say crop, even though it's totally fitting perfectly. Okay, so there it is. So now, before you can save this, if I hit save, it's going to say, you can't just do that. You have to select something down here. So I'm going to say, all right, I'm just going to make this all levels for now. We'll talk about these later. And I'm just going to pick an industry for now. So entrepreneurship sounds good. And then I'll scroll down and then save it. So all we have is the image on the landing page now. Now again, this one, the video is optional, because if you don't put the video, it'll default to your first video in the course, which is your introduction, which might be fine as well. But if you want a different video, you could put that in there. You want a keyword, we'll talk about that later. Let's just preview what we have at this point. So I'll preview this and see what we have thus far. So there we have it. So notice the image is there, even though I didn't add a video file, because the video, when I click on it, it's just going to go to the current video file I have. So notice those two things are separate. Even though it has a video play here, the image is the thing that's on top of whatever the video that you include. So then we don't have any description or anything. We're going to continue on with that next time, but that's the basic thumbnail. Now, if you want to get fancy with an intro slide thumbnail, I would use a similar strategy to, you know, when you're creating the thumbnail.